Hello Year 7, this is Miss Blundell and I'm going to be doing your 3D lesson today. We're going to be continuing with our work that we did last lesson, so you should have a piece of work that looks like this. If you haven't got to this stage, you need to complete that before you carry on with this lesson task. At the end of last week's video, I did say to you you're going to need 2 tablespoons of flour, doesn't matter what type of flour it is, 2 tablespoons of water, a spoon to mix it together, some kitchen roll. If you don't have kitchen roll, you can use newspaper. And then I've used newspaper, but just something to protect your table or whatever. And it might be an idea that you wear like an old top or maybe like an apron. You shouldn't get too messy, but just in case. Okay, so we're going to start the lesson by making our paste, and this is basically a way of making like your own paper mache paste at home. Now I want you to do 2 tablespoons of flour, like that, 2 tablespoons of water, so equal quantities, and then I want you to mix it together with a spoon. If it still looks quite thick like that, I'm going to add more water. So you could maybe add half a tablespoon. Maybe a tiny bit more water. So that we have more of a runny consistency. Remember, you can always add more water, but once you've added it, you can't take it away, so just add bit by bit, okay? And I think that will do us just fine. Now you are going to get your fingers messy. Just move that out of the way now. And now your kitchen roll. The reason we use kitchen roll rather than tissue roll, it's a bit thicker and it has a bit more resistance to it. So toilet roll, when you wet it, it sort of disintegrates, whereas this shouldn't do that so much. I just want you to rip pieces about this big. And what you're going to do is you're going to dip the piece of tissue paper into the mixture. Make sure it's on both sides. And it will look like this. You don't want too much mixture on there, so put the paper in between your fingers and then just pull it. So you get rid of all that excess mixture. And then you're going to start from underneath your fish. So start from there and then just wrap it over the top like this. Okay? And there's your first piece. And you're just going to continue with this. Remember, you don't need too much flour, so dip it in. Make sure it's submerged into the mixture. 2 fingers, put it in between like that, and then pull. Okay? Make sure it's not all crumpled, and then overlap slightly to this one here, and then just flatten it so it will dry nice and neat. Okay? Same again. And you're just going to continue this for the whole fish. So make sure it's submerged all over, in between 2 fingers, pull. You might need to turn it around so you get this bottom edge. Make sure it's nice and flat. Now, when you get an edge like this, like that, you just need to make sure that you bend it over and you tuck it away. So you're still getting the edge of your fish and it's very clear, okay? And if you look at the side, I've not got any of it flicking up at the edge, it's all patted down. When you get to the more trickier areas, like your fin, just put it on like this, and then you can just twist and wrap it round until you sort of get that shape, like that. And then I'll go over with an extra piece You can use smaller pieces for the small areas. Just neaten that up. There we go, and you can see you've still not lost that detail of one of the fins, and the same here, and you're going to continue this for the whole of your fish. What you'll then do is you'll put your fish somewhere to dry. Now you can either put it on the top of a radiator, keep the newspaper underneath it, because it doesn't matter if it sticks, because we're not going to see the back. This is going to be stuck into your book like this, and you should end up with something that looks like this, okay? And as you can see, it's really sturdy, and you've got these nice neat edges. You can tell that it's still a fish, and you can see where I've overlapped it around the nose here to get these nice neat edges. So by the end of this lesson, you should have something that looks like this. It'll still be wet, and you'll need to leave it to dry,